Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend. Today, we're going to be doing a cryptocurrency market update. We've been meaning to get more than one video a day out. It's been a very hectic week, so next week we should be back to normal, releasing multiple videos covering multiple or different topics within the crypto space. So today, we're just going to give a broad cryptocurrency market update. We're going to look at what's going on in a global economic a global macroeconomic sense, and we're going to kind of piece everything together and kind of go over some of the things that are perhaps worrying people at the moment, revisit that whole bear market doom and gloom sentiment that seems to be gripping the crypto space. The fear and greed index was at 16, extreme fear yesterday. I want to put things into perspective straight off the bat in this video. We are not in a bear market. We haven't entered or even validated any kind of, or invalidated any kind of structure that would suggest we are rolling into a bear market, certainly on the macro timescale. Yes, on the smaller timescales, we are in a downtrend, but we're always in a downtrend before we're in an uptrend, if that makes sense. These are pullbacks after an impulsive move. We've seen this time and time again. Bitcoin's done nothing but go on to put higher highs and higher lows in throughout, essentially since March 2020. If we look at the total two, it paints an even broader picture. These are just higher highs and higher lows. And if we look at something like Ethereum, people calling for a bear market. I mean, look at where Ethereum is today, ladies and gentlemen. We know other altcoins have sold off more significantly. From Ethereum's all-time high to where it is today, it's down 17%. This is crypto. This is a regular occurrence, these pullbacks, and it really shows a lack of experience and a lack of knowledge when people go around calling for a bear market. We are in an extremely volatile asset class. We are going to move on to things like Evergrande and inflation and what Biden's saying at the moment and how this contradicts Jerome Powell in just a second. But I really want to get this statement out of the way of because it's a shame that people are so close-minded and so short-minded and can't see a longer vision here. In yesterday's video, we went over one of the statements that was made at the congressional hearing in relation to blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And one theme, and it's something that we've spoke about a lot on this channel that was emphasized throughout, is that this is the new internet. It's very kindred to what happened with the internet, that revolution, and is going to impact the world in a similar way. You're very early in that. And one thing that was brought up in that congressional hearing was just how volatile those markets are when they start out due to market cap, liquidity, etc., etc. And you're experiencing the same things today, ladies and gentlemen, with cryptocurrency. And the worry, the fear, the uncertainty, I mean, extreme fear, 16, that's extreme. And it's just, I don't see the reason for it. Certainly when you come over to the charts, it's really sentiment that drives a lot of this fear. Ethereum's just been higher highs and higher lows, ladies and gentlemen. And this is just how these markets go. I mean, Bitcoin actually doesn't look too bad at all. Certainly, if you drop it down to a smaller time frame, you can see this structure over here is very kindred to the one that you saw previously. And I do think we are in a bull market and we are going to see continuation. Within that, you're going to have impulsive moves and you're going to have pullbacks from that. It's just part and parcel for the course. Yes, we haven't ended 2021 in the same way that we thought we were going to and we thought we were going to see maybe a 2017 or prior to that 2013 end to this year following the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. But things have changed. There's fundamental and technical reasons why that may not be the case and why we're going to go into 2022 and we could actually see a continuous growth cycle. This may be, crypto may have evolved to the point now where it's not just very tethered to the kind of halvening with Bitcoin and the whole market adjusts according to that. But we now see actual adoption kick in and the growth associated with that. And in relation to cryptocurrencies and their adoption, we haven't even really started yet, guys. So now that that's out of the way, let's get into a number of other things. Markets are somewhat up, down. You've got to remember there's a lot of uncertainty globally. We know what Jerome Powell said. We've covered it. We know we've got things like Evergrande. Evergrande have now actually defaulted on one of their bond payments. I think that was actually a grace period that they defaulted on. They've had the grace period. They were supposed to make the payment. They didn't. I thought that they would go into next year before they officially defaulted due to the fact that the founder was servicing some of the debt with his own personal capital. What does this mean? Well, ultimately, one reason Evergrande's so significant is because they owe a lot of money to a lot of people. A lot of those individuals aren't in China. I know the Chinese government officials have stepped in to kind of mitigate the damage for the Chinese people, make sure some of the developments that were promised actually get finished. But they're very much, the bondholders are going to get a very bad deal. And a lot of those bondholders are in the US. BlackRock own that bond, and of course it is going to have a knock-on effect. Is this going to be the catalyst for the next economic crisis? In my opinion, absolutely not. I personally don't think that they're going to bring the economy down on Biden. I don't want to go into why my reasons for that, but I think that they're going to keep the economy afloat whilst Biden's in power. Certainly, if you look at March 2020, I mean, that should have really been the catalyst for the next economic downturn. And look at what we had since then, not just for crypto, stocks, etc., etc. We saw a lot of dollar weakness. We also had Jerome Powell come out and say he was going to start tapering off on buybacks. This takes liquidity away from markets, which will see a downturn in them, or should do, and tackle inflation. As yesterday or a couple of days ago, we went over the inflation statistics that were actually even higher than previously thought in November. Inflation's here to stay. They can pull whatever trick they want. It's here to stay. Go and ask your grandparents what they bought their house for. Go and even, we did the Freddo analysis. Freddo is a chocolate bar that you have in the UK. And when I was a kid, they were 5p. And now I think they're 25, 30p. And that's, it wasn't that long ago since I was a kid. So, everything is relative. And of course, it has an effect on our market. And that's a good thing. Inflation is a good thing for Bitcoin, as Bitcoin was really built in 2008 as a hedge against inflation. So all you're seeing is kind of resistance to what's already coming. And certainly we posted this yesterday on our Twitter. Twitter is @RealAllInCrypto for those of you that you want to follow me. Also, feel free to join the Discord. This is Joe Biden. The United States pays its debts when they're due. That's why today I signed a bill to fast-track the process to raise our debt ceiling. It's just ridiculous. It's literally becoming like playing a game of Monopoly now with the US and their printing money. It's not just the US. Many other countries are bad. Some of them even worse. Certainly we see that in emerging markets. And there's no way out of this. This is the only trick that they have. And back to the whole kind of Evergrande thing and all the uncertainty. They're going to prop this market up, certainly whilst Biden's in power. If they're going to bring the market down, they're going to bring it down on somebody they don't like. So in relation to the US dollar, you've seen uncertainty here as well. And this is because, nobody really knows what the direction of things is right now. I can tell you Bitcoin's direction over a long period of time is going to continue to go up. Crypto is very early, and we're going to continue to see growth. We're at a $2.2 trillion market cap. This is going to continue on and on and on. And one reason you see this kind of downturn in Bitcoin, certainly at the moment, is because in times of uncertainty, people hedge risk. So they're not going to hold any more risk than they need to. Crypto is still a very risky asset class. Even for myself, I'm all in crypto, but I'm all in crypto because I believe in what's going on here. I can see this technology changing the world. I've been all in crypto for nearly 5 years now, and I'm going to continue to do so. But for big traditional vehicles, for big traditional companies, they aren't going to want more exposure to risk than they need to take on. And crypto will get the short straw there because it is still that new kid. And, it's very liquid. They can pull their money out. They don't need to wait for a bond expiry or anything like that. So lots going on that are impacting this market. Just let me reassure you, certainly with the total too, what you're looking at here is just higher highs and higher lows, ladies and gentlemen. Since March 2020, this, in my opinion, is going to continue. What the future looks like, well, we've invalidated what the 4-year cycle theory would have proposed for the end of this year so far. So does that mean we enter more of a sort of Amazon and the dot-com stocks after the boom and bust cycle kind of growth, potentially where we see some sort of more boom and bust cycles that are on a shorter sort of time period, and the volatility kind of eases out as we grow as a market cap. So that's really all I have for you. Certainly people calling for a bear market, please go and look at the Ethereum chart. I mean, even if you take it off log scale, guys, it doesn't look that much worse, or it doesn't look that much better for the bearish case. So I'm not worried in the slightest. Certain coins, of course, ADA's one we cover daily. We're still exceptionally bullish on Cardano. We've given fundamental reasons why you've seen this. We've given, technical reasons, etc., etc. This is a market that's still to grow and it's still to impact the world in a big way. And that's the real value proposition within the crypto space. So hang in there, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly. For those of you who want to stake with us, All In Crypto, All In is the name of the pool. A little bit of a faster, shorter video today just because I've got a lot going on. We'll be back to producing multiple videos a day tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you all there. So if you enjoyed the content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. And I look forward to catching you all in the next YouTube video. If you want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description. And if you're looking for a stake pool to stake to, ALLIN is the ticker. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fantastic Sunday, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video.